Hey everyone, hope everybody is having a restful weekend. And the topic, what I wanted to discuss today, is the 5 C's of marketing. It's a very powerful situational analysis framework. But before we go and start looking into 5 C's, let's first understand what is marketing. Marketing is creating, capturing, and sustaining value in the market for your product or service. But before you can create, capture, and sustain value, by launching a new product or by entering a new geography, you first need to understand what is the market like, what is the situation in which you will be operating. And for that, 5 C's of marketing positions you very strongly. So now let's see what are the 5 C's. So the first C is customers. So for analyzing your customers, you must understand how is the customer purchase journey, what are the consumer buying roles, and this framework on consumer buying rules is very helpful here. Imagine if somebody is buying a product, the person who is going to finally use your product is not necessarily the person who is paying the price of the product or service. Again, there are influencers who will influence the purchaser, there are gatekeepers, there are initiators, and finally the decider, and maybe somebody is a purchaser. So there are different roles, and as a marketer, as a product manager, you must understand what are these different rules, what is their overlap, how to craft your story, how to craft your message, so that you can bring all these roles on the same page and position them to finally make that final call of purchasing your product or service. So I will dive deeper into each of these individual frameworks in the future videos, but for today I wanted to give you a high level introduction into what frameworks can you use for analyzing each of the 5 C's. So coming to company, what can you do to understand your strengths, your weaknesses, external threats, and external opportunities? So you can use the SWOT analysis framework. SWOT analysis by all these 4 pillars really helps you assess how you are positioned as a company, how you are positioned as a product to go and create some value in the market and even sustain it. Coming to the third C, competitors. So for scanning the competitive landscape in the market, Porter's 5 forces can be instrumental. Porter's 5 forces guides you on 5 key ideas. So we have to assess the threat of new entrants in that market. So if you are entering a new market, and if you do well, how early and how easily can new entrants enter that market? Then what is the bargaining power of suppliers? How powerful are the suppliers? What is the bargaining power of buyers? Is it a powerful buyer market? So you have to assess that, because all these different assessments is going to make a difference to your bottom line, to your profit, which you are after, right, as a product marketer, as a product manager. Then finally, substitutes. How easily can a cheaper product give the same value to your consumer? And it can be a big threat if somebody will not buy your product and buy some other cheaper and easily accessible product. So you need to assess that too. And finally, these all attributes contribute to rivalry among industry firms. So again, that leads to competitive pricing. So if someone increases the price, how easily can I increase the price? We have seen it commonly in airline prices. If I decrease my price, how much we are forced to decrease the prices. So these 5 areas really helps you assess your competitive landscape in a very powerful manner. Coming to collaborators, if you are operating in the business world today, you know nowadays it's so common to have these strategic alliances, because often you have some resources which your competitors don't have, and competitors have some resources and segment capture which you don't have. So instead of going completely against each other, now we are collaborating at a certain level between the bigger industry players. and that is really powerful, because you can leverage each other's resources. You can build a bridge to capture that consumer segment, which alone each of you cannot access all by yourself. So strategic alliances is a must in today's market, and we have a framework called Alliance Management Matrix, 3 R's, 2 C's, and Knowledge Gateway. I will dive deeper into this in my later videos, but for today I wanted to um, share with you that Alliance Management Matrix is one of the frameworks which you can use here. Finally, coming to the final C, the context. So before you launch a product or service, it's essential to understand the macroeconomic uh, attributes of that market or that geography or that industry. And pestle analysis really helps you do that in a structured and simplified way. And the pestle implies political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal attribute assessment in an industry or in a market. So with that, these are the 5 C's of marketing, and with all these 5 C's analysis, with the use of these frameworks, you can assess the situation, you can assess the industry or the market where you are planning to play with your product or service in a very detailed and simple way. I hope you would be able to use this. Please feel free to share any comments or feedback you have, or if you have leveraged this in any of your efforts earlier. But for today, this is what I wanted to share. Thank you so much for your time, and bye.